Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Corps, bringing value home. I would be reluctant to say Adriana Young drowned, says Dr. Carol Terry after second autopsy. Police should open criminal investigation into Adriana Young's death. Highly suspicious, Dr. Carol Terry. AFC contesting 2025 elections alone. Doors remain open to coalescing. And PPPC unbothered by Mohamed's entry into politics. JAGDEO. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm ALETHEA Grant with the Friday 30th May 2025 edition of the HGP Nightly News. This is what you need to know this evening. The results of the first autopsy of 11-year-old Adriana Young has been shattered now that the preliminary result of his second autopsy could not conclusively say that the child drowned. Travis Chase is in Atlanta, Georgia, USA, and has that report.
It would be problematic to say that 11-year-old Adriana Young died by drowning. That's the view of Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Carol Terry of the Gwinnett County Examiner's Office and Morgue in Georgia, United States of America. Dr. Terry, who conducted the second autopsy on Adriana Young, spoke with Nightly News.
The first autopsy ruled that Adriana Young drowned. Would you come to that conclusion?
At this point in time, I would not come to that conclusion. I think that there's a lot of information that needs to be gained, a lot of investigation that needs to be done.
The first autopsy, which was completed just over 3 weeks ago in Guyana by 3 foreign pathologists, including the Chief Medical Examiner of the U.S. state of Delaware, concluded that Adriana Young died by drowning.
Drowning is a diagnosis of exclusion, and by that it means that you have to exclude other potential causes of death. And oftentimes when a body is found in water, the assumption is that the person has drowned. There is nothing at autopsy that is diagnostic of drowning. So again, that's what I mean by saying drowning is a diagnosis of exclusion.
Additionally, the toxicology results, according to the Guyana Police Force, showed ethanol levels consistent with post-mortem decomposition, and there was no evidence of any type of sexual assault. Dr. Terry said she also found no sign of trauma.
And did you find any evidence of trauma?
No, I did not.
However, according to Dr. Terry, samples were retrieved from the body for further testing and to complete her report.
I think I overcollected things, but again, I don't get a second chance to go back and be thorough. So those are the things that I was mindful of in the course of doing this examination.
Dr. Terry said that based on the previous post-mortem examination, as well as embalming, the body would have lost some forensic value. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, to get to the real circumstances that led to the death of Adriana Young, renowned pathologist Dr. Carol Terry is recommending to the Guyana Police Force that a thorough criminal probe be launched. Here again is Travis Chase.
Given the circumstances surrounding the death of 11-year-old Adriana Young, Chief Medical Examiner of Gwinnett County, Georgia, Dr. Carol Terry, who conducted a second autopsy on the remains of Adriana Young, is urging local police to conduct a thorough criminal investigation.
In this case, what I have been told regarding the circumstances are so suspicious that I really think that there needs to be a very thorough investigation, and I would want to know the results of, say, toxicologic testing or drug testing from the first examination, as well as any additional testing that was done in accordance with the first autopsy.
Police in Georgetown have basically indicated that the case is closed and that detectives are currently preparing the investigative case file for submission to the Director of Public Prosecutions for her perusal and legal opinion.
Just because I don't see any any physical manifestation of trauma doesn't mean that someone cannot or was not murdered. There are ways in which you can kill someone and not leave any demonstrable trauma on the body. Basically, you just have to interfere with their ability to breathe.
Hours after the body of Adriana arrived in the United States for its second autopsy, the Guyana Police Force disclosed that the final post-mortem report in Guyana has officially ruled the cause of death as drowning, with no signs of foul play. Asked in what direction should local police begin looking in a criminal investigation, Dr. Terry responded.
Any ability to look at surveillance video around the time of her disappearance, and see what can be gleaned from that. Also, if there are any video around the pool at the time, around the time she was then discovered, to see if she was placed in the pool or what transpired between her disappearing and searches of that area where she's not located and then her being discovered.
Dr. Terry is adamant that the death of Adriana Young is suspicious.
In conclusion, you would say that Adriana Young's death is highly suspicious.
Yes, I would.
The family's lead attorney, Dr. Dexter Todd, has said that it won't be lawful should the police force close its investigation. Adriana Young was found dead in the pool of the Doubleday Hotel in Tushin 1 day after she was reported missing at the same hotel. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Travis. On day 15 of the high-stakes election fraud trial, Minister of Local Government Sonia Parrick admitted on the cross-examination that she did not witness any of the defendants forging electoral documents. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
Reappearing on the witness stand on Friday, Local Government Minister Sonia Parrick stated that she did not see any of the defendants forging any documents purporting to be electoral material. This admission came during cross-examination by defense attorney UC Anderson as the high-profile trial continues. The ongoing case involves several former GCOM officials and political operatives accused of attempting to rig the outcome of the 2020 general elections. In total, they are facing 19 charges tied to alleged acts of electoral fraud. The prosecution intends to call approximately 73 witnesses as it builds its case. Parrick, who resumed testimony on Friday, was questioned by defense attorneys Dexter Todd, UC Anderson, and Ronald Daniels. Attorney Todd asked whether she ever received information from the chief elections officer identifying who created a disputed spreadsheet. She responded, quote-unquote, there were no names that were called. Parrick also admitted that she did not attend GCOM training sessions prior to the elections and was not briefed on the responsibilities of GCOM officials during the electoral process. Anderson further questioned her career background, confirming that she was an attorney in private practice from 2015 to 2020. He then asked whether she agreed that her ministerial position is a result of the PPPC winning the elections. Parrick agreed. Her cross-examination concluded with a short re-examination by Prosecutor Lachmi Mohammed, which concluded her testimony. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Tiana. More news after this break. Stay with us. You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Welcome back. The Alliance for Change has officially announced plans to run in the 2025 general and regional elections, but have not closed the doors on a future coalition. More details from Daisy Richards.
Leader of the Alliance for Change, AFC Nigel Hughes, has officially announced his party's plans to contest this year's general and regional election. The party leader highlighted that in the 4-month lead up to the elections, there will be many surprises.
We will be focusing on several things: cost of living, governance, indigenous development and indigenous land rights, education, complete health reform, adjustment in the taxation, governance, and of course, we will be also addressing the issue of infrastructure development.
The AFC leader also hinted to reporters that they have not entirely shut the door on a coalition party.
We are always committed to whatever is in the best interest of Ghana. That is always our first and foremost position.
Mr. Hughes responded to the recent announcement by businessman Azruddin Mohammed on his decision to join the presidential race.
I welcome Mr. Mohammed into this election cycle. It gives Guyanese a wider range of choices. And anything that offers the electorate a wider range of choices is good.
He also added that Mohammed has had an impact on the electorate and the party has the hope that this year's elections brings out the best of Guyanese. Meanwhile, earlier on Friday, the Partnership for National Unity, APNU, and the Working People's Alliance announced their coalition after coalition talks failed between the APNU and the AFC. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
Thank you, Daisy. Vice President Barry Jagdeo has dismissed concerns over businessman Azruddin Mohammed's entry into the political arena, labeling him and his family, quote-unquote, a criminal cabal. More details from Tiana Cole.
General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party and Vice President Barry Jagdeo made it clear at his weekly press conference on Thursday that the PPP is not concerned about Azruddin Mohammed entering politics. He described the businessman and his family in this way.
This is a criminal cabal, and you can see the association.
Mohammed, his father, and their businesses were sanctioned by the U.S. government last year over allegations of gold under-declaration and tax evasion. Azruddin Mohammed recently announced his intention to run in the upcoming general elections. Jagdeo dismissed him as delusional and said he should seek medical help.
They have some website, and the people said they show him or the same fake profiles voting on the website all the time, and they showed he's leading. But that is done by people who are sympathetic to him, and obviously some may even be duping him.
The vice president claimed Mohammed is playing the victim to garner public sympathy. He suggested Mohammed believes that by entering politics, the U.S. might treat him more leniently.
How is that persecution? This is a criminal act. A fake invoice is a criminal act by our laws, unless we must change the laws to suit the Mohammeds. And it started a long while back. It didn't start now that he announced.
Jagdeo emphasized that the PPP's support base remains solid and that Mohammed poses no political threat.
See any evidence across this country that the PPP is afraid of the Mohammeds electorally? Where you see a mass exodus from the PPP to him. In fact, people are moving in droves to the PPP now. You think they would endorse a party that they believe would lose the elections and all of that? They have great confidence in where we are going.
On Thursday, Azruddin Mohammed was charged in the local courts with 2 counts of tax evasion. He appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Faith Megasti at the Georgetown Magistrates Court and was granted bail in the sum of $500,000 and is expected to return to court on June 26. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Tiana. Ex-Corporal Johnny Overseas Barnwell, a respected veteran and cherished member of our community, has died after a prolonged illness. A resident of the National Veterans Rest Home overseas departed peacefully, leaving behind a legacy of dedicated service, sporting passion, and unwavering commitment to his nation and its youths. Ex-Corporal Barnwell served the Ghana Defense Force with distinction, embodying the values of duty, discipline, and loyalty. His service was notably rendered to the 11 Infantry Jaguar Battalion and the GDF Sports Corps, which he not only fulfilled his military obligations to, but also became a driving force for camaraderie and physical excellence. His passion for sports and mentorship found a natural extension when he took on the vital role of games master at Queen's College, one of Guyana's premier secondary schools. In his capacity, he shaped generations of young minds, instilling in them the virtues of teamwork, sportsmanship, and the pursuit of personal bests. His influence on the playing fields and courts of Queen's College will resonate for years to come. May his soul rest in peace. More news after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching the HGP Nightly News. The Ghana Defense Force troops stationed at Iterengbang and Macapa on the Guyana-Venezuela border are currently engaged in efforts to locate one of its ranks, Lance Corporal Stefan Tudor, who was part of a river patrol in the Cayuni River, Region 7, who fell into the river in the vicinity of the Macapa Rapids between 14 and 15 hours on Thursday. The Ghana Defense Force said it will spare no resources to continue its efforts and has since communicated with the family of Lance Corporal Tudor. The force said it remains committed to the operational safety of all its officers and ranks. A board of inquiry has been convened to investigate circumstances surrounding the incident. President Eran Ali met with farmers on Thursday from Region 6 to address concerns while highlighting various improvements needed in the rice industry. More details from Daisy Richards.
Speaking to the farmers at the Albion Estate in Region 6, President Eran Ali, in addressing them, highlighted that the government will continue to invest in the farmers. With billions invested into agriculture and agro-processing, President Ali added there is need for a clear vision and there must be clear understanding.
We don't shy away from issues. We address issues. We're the forefront of issues. Taking responsibility.
The president, focusing on rice production, highlighted that there is need for improvement in some areas for productive rice farming.
We reduce our costs for fuel, our drainage irrigation costs, our land preparation costs. How do we reduce that input cost?
President Ali, in trying to alleviate problems in rice production, said that rice farmers should look at integrated farming.
Where we say for every 10 acres of rice farm, we use 1 acre for a high value, high yielding commodity. So we reduce the risk, we increase productivity, we expand and diversify our income base.
The head of state pointed out that the government will collaborate with the farmers to create the integrated farms. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
Thank you, Daisy. Stay tuned for regional news.
Good evening, I'm Daisy Richards with Friday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Trinidad and Tobago. Resign now. That's Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Besesar's order to state board members who haven't yet resigned. Speaking at Thursday's post-cabinet media briefing at the Red House, Port of Spain, she also warned that every contract state boards have entered into will be sent to the Anti-Corruption Investigation Bureau to investigate. Prasad Besesar added, quote, I want to tell all boards who are refusing to resign and the CEOs and management of state enterprises who are busy signing off contracts and hiring friends and family, I tell them every contract they've entered into will be sent straight to the Anti-Corruption Investigation Bureau, so every person and every company involved will be investigated, unquote. Quote, this is the most shameless type of behavior I've ever seen exhibited during a change of government. It is overt, it is bold-faced, and trying to eat a food down to the wire, and after you've passed the finish line, it doesn't work like that, unquote. Prasad Besesar added that government has plans to deal with board members who are refusing to step down. Initially, just a few had done it and others were threatening they were quote-unquote not going anywhere, whatever. Quote, I think good sense is prevailing, and for the few who are holding on by their fingernails and toenails, we have a plan, unquote. She declined to say which state boards are quote-unquote holding on by their fingernails. Quote, let's give them a further chance after my warning today, unquote, she said. While in Argentina's security minister said on Thursday that 12 suspects were arrested for criminal acts linked to the Tren de Aragua gang, a group that the country classifies as a terrorist organization. quote, "It is a highly dangerous gang and today 12 of its members are in prison," unquote, Security Minister Patricia Bullrich said in a press conference in Buenos Aires. Bullrich also said the group had carried out attacks on supermarkets, butcher shops, hardware stores using firearms and explosives, and caused fatalities. The U.S. State Department designated the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua as a global terrorist organization in February, saying it posed a threat to U.S. national security, foreign policy, and economic interests. Meanwhile, Venezuelan government has maintained the gang with prison origins was destroyed during raids in 2023 and no longer exists. Finally, the Chief Executive Officer of the Antigua and Barbuda Airport Authority, Wendy Francette Williams, has resigned with immediate effect. Francette Williams, a Trinidadian national, was appointed in August last year and led the agency during a critical phase for VC Bird International Airport. According to local reports, her resignation was requested by her superiors, although no official reason has been given. Joseph Samuel has been appointed acting CEO, while a permanent replacement is being sought. Thank you for watching. Do have a great weekend. Until next time.
I would be reluctant to say Adriana Young drowned, says Dr. Carol Terry after second autopsy. Police should open criminal investigation into Adriana Young's death. Highly suspicious, Dr. Carol Terry. AFC contesting 2025 elections alone. Doors remain open to coalescing. And PPPC unbothered by Mohamed's entry into politics. JAGDEO. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm ALETHEA Grant. Thanks for watching.